So this is going to be just a very basic guide on being a swordsman in Mitrasphere. The 5 most basic weapons you need is a crystal eater and 2 stone edges along with a holy axe and any weapon that can deal massive, extreme, or FA massive damage. Crystal eater basically just doubles your damage, and holy axe will give you a big physical and magic attack buff to the damages you make. And those 2 stone edges will be there to keep you in the back row while carrying over or preserving the crystal eater buff until you're ready to hit an enemy. So here you will see that the stone edge has a parenthesis in it. It says physical damage up, close parenthesis B, which is exactly the same description for crystal eater. Only the numerical values differ. So what that means is if you use crystal eater, then if you use stone edge, it means the buff is extended, but it will keep the highest value version of that buff on you. Now, crystal eater actually gives you a debuff that you take 30% more physical and magic damage. So what happens is this can be cleansed away by using the axe, which it kinda eats those debuffs and replaces it with its own buff. The axe's buff will not activate if it doesn't eat any debuffs from your body. As you can see, there are 2 lines of damage that appeared even though I only attacked once. It is because this buff of the axe has activated and cleansed away the debuffs from crystal eater. Stone edge is a good weapon to have because not only does it preserve the crystal eater buff, it also places you in the back row where you take less damage from enemy attacks. Now that I have my dragonkin gauge up, I can compound all of those buffing layers, like the damage from the crystal eater, the buff from the axe, and eventually my actual attacking sword is gonna deal the highest damage based on all that I've done in the prior turns. Next upgrade to our set will be the Folia Fling, which is a sword that keeps the crystal eater buff, puts you in the back row, and gives you a 60% chance to score a critical attack on the next round. So the combo would be crystal eater, Folia Fling, and then your nuke sword. Also keep in mind when you see that little sun icon by your damage line, that means that is in fact a critical attack. So here I'm going to show you how I used crystal eater just once, and it should only last for 7.9 seconds, aka 1 attack after the initial hit of the crystal eater. But by using stone edge, I keep prolonging that effect until I am actually ready to attack the enemy. You can scroll back a little bit and compare my attacks straight after a crystal eater into the Holy Buster, and it will have the same value as when I use the stone edges in between. So the axe's buff stays on for 25 seconds, and you have a cooldown of 36 seconds before it's ready for use again. You just subtract 36 and 25, and if you see that 11 on the axe on the timer, that means your buff is about to wear off, so make sure you get that big hit within the time frame. I know Folia is a rainbow weapon, thus not everyone will have it, but the same concept applies. You want to crunch as much buffs on yourself and debuffs on the enemy while the axe's buff is still up, and you want to cycle into crystal eater and into your burst. Here we added a bronze sword which has a 30% physical damage taken up on the enemy. So just like before, you use your crystal eater, go back row if you have to with stone edge, put some bronze sword into the cycle, And once you're ready to use axe, that's when you have to make sure the bronze sword 25-second buff is also active before you use your dragonkin and unleash your burst on the enemy. Another addition to your damage would be by using a weapon that has an element that is strong against the opponent's element. For this instance, as you can see, my Holy Buster has a blue background, meaning it's a water type weapon, and I am against fire elemental enemies. Right now we're taking everything we talked about and bringing it in to the battlefield, in this case SP level 3. So I started off with my Crystal Eater, both of them with my Folia. Try to hit that first little mob over there up front. Feel I can get to the back row eventually, you know, we have to clear the front lane. The dual swords doesn't really add to my attack, but makes me more tanky. Now this thing that the Asco or something adds some a little bit of power into my punch. So I'm stacking up the buffs, that's my 25-second window. Axe up, bronze on ASP, carry the Crystal Eater with the dual blades, roll back for the Folia, click on the DK gauge, and I'm ready for my burst. And I also prep my 2 dual blades. I always try to chain the attack so I'm sure there's not a second lost between turns. And after that, as you can see, you know, earth is strong against water, so I got a big damage. And yeah, I'll be posting more videos in the future probably, like progression as a swordsman, what to farm, where to farm, some little gimmicky tricks here and there. And thanks for watching. See you around next time.